Hi everyone. One of the very frequently asked questions for me is when do I know if I should reach out for some help from a therapist? Some people are perfectly capable of working through the whole process completely on their own and they don't need any additional support. However, for other people, it's going to be very difficult for them to do that. And to have some support from a expertly trained therapist is really going to make the difference for them. So when to reach out? Well, for some people, it's just they don't need it, but they feel like that would be a great gift towards themselves. And that's completely valid. So if you just feel like it would be really lovely just to have that support and holding, then please feel free to reach out. And then, but if it's necessary, there are normally two indications that you really would benefit, or it's going to be really difficult for you to work through the process on your own. The first of those indications is if you get stuck on any of the exercises. So if you feel like you're really not getting it, you can't feel into the body, for instance, in the attunement repair exercise, or you feel very blocked around the exercise, or you feel like you're trying really hard and not getting anywhere. Okay, and this is particularly true for those first three exercises, that being the attunement repair exercise, the zero state exercise, and the kindness state exercise. So what's interesting is we're actually creating an important mental shift, mind shift in the way that we approach the exercises. So rather than our approach to the exercises being achieving the exercise or getting the exercise done, getting it right, trying hard in order to achieve it, what we're doing is we're learning to be curious about our experience. So it's more important to be aware of what's happening than it is to get the exercise right or be able to do it. Okay, and that's because for some of us, the very underlying causes of the dystonia, so those experiences that we've had that are creating the dystonia, can also block us from being able to do these exercises. And so if we become aware of what that feels like, and we can bring that into a therapy session, that level of awareness, then normally most frequently in those sessions, you will make a really big shift and a really good breakthrough, really important breakthrough, right into the underlying causes of the dystonia. So let me give you an example. The zero state exercise not only brings us into a state of inner balance and equanimity, but it also connects us to a lot of life force energy, personal power, sense of just strength. And it's not a kind of a fighting strength, it's this sort of still, deep strength within us. Now, for those of us who were brought up in an aggressive environment, oftentimes that degree of strength actually would make us a target for receiving even more aggression. And what we had to learn was actually to collapse our personal power and empowerment inwards to make ourselves smaller so that we wouldn't be a target of that aggression. So what I find is for people where that's the case, the zero state exercise is very difficult for them to connect to and very difficult for them to achieve if we're looking at in those terms. However, when they're just really aware of what's getting in the way, what happens as they just simply spend time and attention on the exercise, then bring that awareness into the session, all those underlying blocks, all that sense of inner collapse, which is a lot of what's underneath for that person with focal dystonia, we can work through and we can release and we can heal. And then a lot of the dystonia is healed as a secondary result of that. Okay, so we've got these three reasons why we might want to come to therapy. The first is just because we feel like we would like to do that. The second is because we feel blocked in any of the exercise, particularly those first three. And then the third reason would be because in any of the exercises, but particularly from stage 4 onwards, we feel a lot of activation. So if we do any exercise and that brings up a strong activation of very strong feelings that we feel are too strong or too unsafe for us to be able to hold and bring back into calmness ourselves, that's a very strong indication that therapy will be really valuable for you, because it means that those experiences that you've had that are sitting under the dystonia were so strong that they put your nervous system right into this high level of activation, and that's very difficult to self-regulate. I talk about self-regulation in the book. That's very difficult for you to bring that back into balance on your own. And what's often required is the co-regulation, that limbic co-regulation from the therapist, as well as their technical expertise in brain spotting and how to use some of the more technically advanced aspects of the brain spotting to help that work through in your nervous system and for those encapsulated memories to become released. If you want to read a little bit more about this in the book, I recommend reading pages 77 to 85, and then also pages 120 to 122. So I hope that helps you be clearer about when for you it might be a good time to reach out if necessary, and when you can just feel confident that you're doing really well and just keep going through the book on your own and the process on your own. Okay, thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.